Hey, welcome to SAB Chronicles, aka the COVID Chronicles. We're going to dive deep into the teachings of a few of our CEO Action Pod groups spanning from 2020 all the way to 2024. This series takes us through the fire of COVID to post COVID, and now who really gives a care about COVID? If you listen to this series, you're going to gain inside knowledge of strategies of the past and strategies of the future. Hold on to your seats as you're about to get a PhD in business. Buckle up and let's get rolling. Hey, are you looking to scale your business from five figures to six figures or six figures to seven figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
Okay, so let's just take a couple minutes and go through. You can just throw a challenge out. Matt, I know you have to bolt off here pretty soon, so I'm going to let you start, okay? Let's just talk about a challenge that you're having, just one challenge from each person that you're having, and then let's kind of discuss that as a group and see what ideas we can glean from those challenges. So go ahead, Matt.
So the challenge was pivoting, but I think after about a month and a half now, I think we're pretty well pivoted, ready to go. But the challenge is fresh in my mind right now is I've actually had a goal this year to publish a book, but I didn't know what the hell I was going to write. So the challenge that I have now is if I was back in the, if me and my brother and my partners were back in the video SEO space, and that was the positioning service we were doing, I could think of 2 or 3 things I could write about. But now my challenge is, okay, I want to write a book. I've always wanted to write a book. Thank you for the info on how to publish. I didn't know that you could do that. So that's awesome for free. But I have no idea what the hell I would write about. That's my challenge.
Okay,
so ideas, I guess, of,
Look, here's just my first thought would be, stick to what you're good at, right? So stick to what you're good at and what you know, and that comes easy. So for me, talking about business things, it's really easy for me. I mean, I could stay on here till midnight and just keep going and going and going and going because I'm passionate for it. And so take what your passion is and translate it to paper, right? That's really all you're doing, is taking what you're really passionate about. And there again, it doesn't have to be something really long. Just make it something that's whatever you want it to be.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be directly related to the company and the services.
No, for sure not, right? Definitely not. It could be onto the other side of things that we want to take after 212, right? The more coaching and so on and so forth. Could be the passionate about that part. But anyway, I want to let the group chime in too. On
you could do the pain of the pivot.
There you go.
I learned a hell of a lot.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. We were on the same page there because that's the first thing that jumped into my mind, the pivot.
The pain of the pivot.
That's a good title too.
Pain of the pivot.
Matt, you were underselling yourself. I had no idea what I was going to write about. I can write things about merchant accounts if I want to induce comas on anybody who would open up the dust jacket to read the inside cover. So instead, and I've taught you before, you're dripping with experience. Seriously, take a bath. You're dripping with experience from your field. What I did instead was, when I said the art of the steal, I wrote about 20, 30 different examples of every way I could see somebody get screwed in my industry. And there are only 300 more, right? The art of the steal. Here's a good way to have your business completely fleeced. Here's a good way. Here's a good way. It's the negative side of it. It's the worst thing in the world. Here's how you're going to get hosed. There you go.
The devil wears Prada.
Right. Right.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you.
Anybody else? Cool. Well, that should have gave you at least enough firepower, brother.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, Terry, go. You're next. What you got?
Yeah, so lots of challenges. I guess the biggest challenge at the moment is, oh man, we just have like so many things and so many balls being juggled, but the still core common challenge for me is just creating a business that can run and flourish without me. So we're working, we have a lot of pieces in place to hopefully make that happen. But in the midst of that, all of that stuff takes time. And right now we're super, super busy. So it's like, I'm just overwhelmed and I'm kind of drained. So figuring out how to get to that point as quickly as possible is kind of like my challenge before I just burn completely out.
All right, to the group. I'll respond last this time.
I would say, Terry, and Jason will probably say it also, one of the things that he's teaching us is exactly how to do that, is how to get yourself from being in the driver's seat all the time. So as you're planning your business, especially now that you're going into the growth phase, take a step back and figure out, how do you get yourself from being in the driver's seat all the time? This way you model your business going forward with not you on the driver's seat, but being able to still control it. So don't wait until you're bigger. Do it now as you're about to go into that growth phase.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Thanks, Ivan.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Terry, I was able to offload at a profit loss to the company, but it's freed me up 100% to make this pivot. I was able to offload all of our existing clientele work to my partner, which I didn't want to do because that meant making less money. However, that's the reason why I was able to do a pivot in 30 days, 45 days, a complete 100% pivot. So, and that may not be available to a lot of people, but I'll tell you right now, that was really scary for me, to say, well, crap, I'm going to be making a lot less money. But I was thinking about what I bought with that money, which was literally every day now. I have to reply to a couple emails, but I was able to build out this whole this service that we're doing. Another thing too, if I may, is I'm really big on productivity. This is like my planner that I reprinted out for August. And one of the things that helped me with the pivot is being a time management Nazi. And so I've come up with a couple things that have worked really good for me. And so just like Jason knows, I'm moving over into like coaching for business entrepreneurs and whatnot. So I'm running through this whole new productivity planner for the month of August to see how it works. And I was thinking of seeing if anybody else wanted a copy of this as well. And we kind of get a lot of people running through this. So this way I could make it as best as possible and then, provide it down the road to anybody who wants it. I plan on giving this away for free as kind of
But
like
there's your ebook, Matt.
That's why it's already printed, 82 pages of it.
There's your passion.
Yeah,
Hear it in your voice.
that's cool. Cool. So before you chime in, Jason, because I know we can't take too long, but I have some, I guess, thanks, Matt. I have some more clarity, and I want to reframe it before you answer, Jason. So I guess the biggest challenge right now is that we're growing so quickly. Like, I know what to do and what needs to be done in order to free myself up, but the dilemma is that, like, we're in a growth period. So if I said we're not taking on any new clients and we stay stagnant and I was just able to put my head down for 30, 45 days, it would probably make it better off. But I don't want to pass up on the business because it's happening right now. So that's kind of the big dilemma is, like, what do I do?
Here's what most people are really terrible at doing. Okay. Most people are really bad at planning. Okay. Right. So you should already know up to fourth quarter of next year. Okay. If you don't, like, from a planning perspective, right? If you take any larger scale company, right? That doesn't mean it has to be perfect, right? But it's a shell, right? We should know right now for fourth quarter, and we should be planning to frame things out. If you're so loaded with these tactical things and all this stuff, is okay, how do I offload it? Well, you don't if you don't plan for it. So that's the biggest thing, right? Is okay, great, we're in third quarter. So you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things that you shouldn't be doing right now. Okay. So we plan for fourth and first quarter 2021, 1, 2, 3 things gone. First quarter, 1, 2, 3 things gone. Second quarter, 1, 2, 3 things gone. Why? We can't do all this at one shot. The business will crumble, right? But what we can do is succinctly plan it out and plan yourself out of the problem. Okay. And trust me, we're all horrible at it. Everybody is, right? Because we all still do a lot of stuff that we shouldn't do. Everybody does it. I do it. I do it all the time, right? I don't want to wait on something. So it's like, screw it. I'll just do it myself. And those are the times you got to go, don't do that. You just got to slap your hand, right? But don't try to work yourself out of this in a month, because the business won't work. So you got to move out of things in a fashion where they can be passed off and put into the right place, right? And I am very, very, very familiar with with this conversation with you, Terry. Because we've been working together for a long time, and you just have to. You have to plan. Planning is so key, and a lot of businesses that are you took this company from nothing to a fantastic company. This is a great company, but now you've got to teach yourself how to treat yourself, right? As the CEO of the company, and it doesn't happen overnight, right? It's just like, we try to teach our clients how to treat us, right? We got to train them.
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus? What I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
Train our client how to treat. Well, you got to do that for yourself too. You got to train yourself how to treat yourself.
That's true.
And if you continue to have these same behaviors every quarter, over and over and over again, you will never shed the garbage, ever. It won't happen. So I think that this probably applies to almost everybody in this room right now, including me. So just think about how you plan quarterly, and you can break things down into weekly tasks, monthly tasks, quarterly tasks, all these things. And once you start seeing it, and like Matt said, with like productivity, I call it time studies. Okay, probably not quite the same thing, but closely related. You need something to like hit you in the face to where you can go, wow, holy crap, I'm doing a lot of stuff. And it might even be more than you think. But
Definitely.
Really keeping track of your time is critical. And Matt, if you can support the group with that, I think this would be a great group project right there.
Yeah, I pulled that time study from you. I actually put it in here. It's because that was like a huge thing. And so I break it down weekly and monthly. But yeah, I got to jump off here, guys, unfortunately. But I just want to, Terry, one of the biggest things I had to learn, just reemphasizing what Jason said, is teaching your clients how to deal with you and setting boundaries. But first you have to set the boundaries for yourself. And then once you set the boundaries for yourself, you'd be surprised. Everybody falls in line, because anybody that's a self-respecting professional respects that you also, oh, he has boundaries. Well, I have boundaries too. And they can't hate you for it, because if they're at that level, they do the same thing for themselves. That, for me, that was like one of my biggest things in 2019 that really changed my business, because I was letting my business run my life, replying to messages and emails 7 days a week, 6 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night. And then once I started setting boundaries and saying, nope, this is when I'll reply to you. This is how long I have. Prior to that, you will not be hearing from me. The response I got was, oh, okay, great. I was wondering when you're going to do that anyway. Like literally. And that changed my life. So I would really, one more thing, Terry, I would definitely love to share this with everybody, because I'd love to get some feedback to make this as best as possible to help other entrepreneurs. But plan your year with the end in mind. So whatever your major goal is at the end of the year, and I'm sure you've probably heard this a million times from Jason, you plan that, and then you just break that down into milestones. You break that down into months, into quarters, then months, then weeks. And then you break it down into small, tangible, weekly, achievable things. And I don't create to-do lists. I create things I'm going to accomplish today lists. Just psychologically, it's different. I hate the word to do. And so, yeah, I would love to contribute. I have to go, guys, but I hope I was able to help. And it was great meeting everybody.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye, man.
Awesome. Was that helpful, Terry?
Absolutely.
Great.
Hey,
Awesome.
Jason,
ahead,
let me
Bill.
tell you something real quick.
Go ahead.
Jason said something to me a number of months back, and this was a little bit after he had helped inject Regina into my life and get somebody to take a lot of work off my back. But he's like, Jason, you said to me, if you go to Walmart, you don't need Sam Walton there to helping you out. That would be a pain in your backside. I don't want to talk to the boss. The boss takes too long and too hard to get I just need to go in here and get a pair of blue jeans, get whatever, get a ham, a frozen pizza. I don't need the boss. I don't need the C-suite. I need to get my work done. Actually, that would be too big a pain. And that was a watershed moment for me and my team. There's stuff I do that nobody else can do. And that's the stuff reserved for me and me alone. You don't use Superman to take out the trash.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah, Superwoman.
Anybody else got any thoughts on that?
So one quick question though, would you ever consider like stopping business? Like, cause that's what if I took 2 months and I said, I don't want any new clients, let's slow down the client acquisition and let's focus on getting this right. I think that I could do it, but we're onboarding clients and that's adding to it. So would you ever say, don't take any more money, don't add any new clients, pause growth, and focus on getting your stuff in order, and then go back to it? Would you ever? I'm guessing you're gonna say no.
Okay, so you made a good point though. So the company is at a position right now, right, where you're thriving, so on and so forth. This goes back to the growth versus scale conversation, right? You just got to do them together. That's all. That's all it is, right? So yes, you continue to take people. You will never ever hear me say, "We're stopping taking business today."
Yeah. Yeah, I knew the answer, but that's what I feel like.
I
like,
understand, Jerry,
like
though,
it-
the reset.
Yeah.
You want to deliver quality, but
Sure.
you want to keep growing. And I think for a lot of us, that's going to be a growing pain.
Hey,
Right. So-
Terry, can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
Where is the log jam? Like where is what part of the business is it that keeps you tied to it that you can't step back to organize the scale on it? Is it fulfillment? Is it recruit? Is it lead generation? What part of the business is the log jam?
It's definitely the fulfillment. So like just 2 months ago, we brought on 5 freelance account managers. And then I'm the one that had to get them on board and things like that. Now we're at the point that we need to bring on about 5 more. So fulfillment is an issue. Like I thought that I didn't run an agency with like tons of clients, but like they just keep coming to us. And every time we add more clients, that means that I'm still a little bit involved in the process. So the biggest thing is definitely the fulfillment. If we just keep adding on these clients, it just adds stuff on my plate. So
Can you outsource?
Outsource the fulfillment of it.
Yeah, and just oversee the fulfillment.
Yeah, we tried that in the past and really didn't have that great of results because of kind of like our USP is the fact that we do specialize with Black-owned businesses. So if we outsource it and they don't have a team that can do that, that takes away why people came to us in the first place. So it makes it a little bit tough from that perspective.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just
okay. I took them enough time.
No. That's the whole point why we're here, right? So you have to look at this as it's a parallel conversation, right? And every business has at some point their biggest challenge is fulfillment. It always is, right? And then so now you got to find good people here in the growth side that support the scale. Right? It's finding those good, in your case, finding good ad managers that can do a good job for you, that can, fulfill what you promised your client, right? So, you might have to sift through a whole lot of garbage, right, to get to something good. Here is the difference between you right now and many companies even in this group, right? You have a COO.
Lucky stiff.
You have a true full-blown COO, right?
Yes.
I aspire to having a COO. I aspire to that.
Use them. Use that person, right? I mean, a lot of companies that are in the $1 to $2 million range they don't have this. They don't have this beautiful asset, right, in their company. You have to leverage this. Leverage it. Leverage this to its maximum capability, right? Because she's a full-time staff member for you. So, you should be leveraging the bejesus out of her. And I know that some of this is tied to knowledge base, right? And just from our past conversations, but at some point, right, you have to train the trainer, right? So you got to train that person because you're training yourself out of a job.
Right.
Right? That's the goal, right? You're training others to work yourself out of a job, right? And for you, I mean, the workhorse of your company is that COO. Because I can tell you right now, almost everybody in this group that does not have one wishes they did. right? Because why? That's just where you just get to vomit everything all the time to that COO. It's the shittiest job in a company, really. It's horrible. But and that's why you pay a COO a good salary, because they are the workhorse.
Terry, how much of your process is automated? Having automation for a lot of the minutia is going to save you a lot of aggravation as well.
Yeah, obviously that's something you can always strive to do better at. But we're pretty good. So a lot of our onboarding is automated. The email and communication. So we do pretty good. Obviously, if someone went through it, they can find room for improvement. But we do try to automate. Like we use Zapier for like everything. Like so, we're pretty tech heavy when it comes to stuff like that. So we're pretty good. I would rate us probably a good 7 on the scale of 1 to 10.
So that's the onboarding. What about during the actual process and the communication of people with people? That should be automated too.
Like clients?
Yeah. Yep.
So how would you automate like that process of talking to a client?
A routine sequence of communication of emails that include reports or that include updates or things that are happening in their own campaigns.
Yes.
And then include your calendar link. If you're the one who's handling that particular client, include the calendar link in that update if they wanted to have a conversation. Otherwise, they're fine. Otherwise, they're good. If you give them the opportunity to talk to you, they're not likely going to do that very often. Maybe once or twice, but ongoing, it's not going to happen all that much. The more you can automate, the better you'll be, sincerely. So create as much of that automation that you possibly can. That's one of the things that I've learned with what I'm doing, especially in all of the prospecting that I do. And the more that you automate and the more that I'm able to automate to keep you guys in the loop or me in your loop, because remember, I'm your client and I'm bringing you business, right? I don't want to talk to them. I want it all managed and handled. So have everything as automated as you possibly can, especially with it. And then add in the calendar so that you can speak to them. But the more they know you're available, the less they're going to need you. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
And train them, as Matt said, train them on how to work with you. So train them to schedule an appointment, not just pick up the phone and call you. Although you're better than most, because I don't know that you actually have a phone. Do you have a phone?
Nope. Yeah, people try. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's one of the things that I've learned with working with Jason is just it requires a great deal of systems to be in place to work with and manage what you're doing.
Especially at scale. Especially at scale.
Yep.
Thank you.
For sure.
Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win. Thank you for tuning in to the SAB Chronicles, otherwise known as the COVID Chronicles. Hey, we hope you took a lot of great little golden nuggets from this episode. Follow us on social media. Follow us everywhere you can follow us for updates on all of our different series of podcasts, to include this one right here. We hope to see you back as soon as possible. And remember, you should always want to grow, scale, and win. We'll see you on the next episode.